Pregnant behind bars, women's stories of motherhood behind bars. Pregnancy is one of the most challenging and transformative experiences in a woman's life. For many women, the experience is made even more difficult by factors such as poverty, substance abuse, limited education, and lack of support systems. In the general population, pregnant women face a variety of challenges when it comes to their physical and mental health, as well as their ability to get an education, find work, and provide for their children. But when you add being locked behind bars, with no access to prenatal care or childcare services, those challenges become that much more difficult. Unfortunately, many women find themselves pregnant while serving time in prison or locked away at another correctional facility. These women struggle with the same issues that all new mothers face: where to give birth, how to afford childcare services once they leave prison, how to finish their education so they can get a job once released from jail. The list goes on. Hi and welcome to Bragging Visitor. If you love this type of video, please subscribe to our channel. Like and share this video with your friends, then hit the notification bell, that way you won't miss any of our future videos. Thank you. So, why do women go to prison? There are many reasons why women might find themselves behind bars. Some of the most common reasons include things like drug and alcohol abuse, theft, and assault. Some women are even sent to jail because they have been charged with murder. According to the Bureau of Justice Statistics, in 2016, over 200,000 women were arrested in the United States. And of those women, almost 30% of them were arrested for a drug-related crime. These numbers can be especially high in low-income areas, where there is a higher chance of substance abuse and addiction. In some cases, a pregnant woman might be arrested for a crime she committed while under the influence. How can incarcerated women become pregnant? Women can become pregnant in a variety of ways while behind bars, including rape by guards or other inmates. In some cases, a woman might not even know she is pregnant until she is already in jail or prison. In others, the woman might begin to feel sick, begin to gain weight, and notice changes in her body that indicate she is pregnant. Some incarcerated women choose to get an abortion, while others decide to go through with the pregnancy. Some women have partners on the outside who help them track their cycles, and use condoms to avoid pregnancy, while others do not have that support and do not realize they are at risk. Pregnant behind bars, where do pregnant women give birth? Many states are struggling to find ways to care for pregnant women who are incarcerated. Few facilities are equipped to handle women who are pregnant, and some states don't have any facilities that are set up to care for pregnant women at all. In some cases, the state might transfer a pregnant woman to a hospital where she can receive the care she needs. But in many cases, the woman may be forced to give birth in prison. There are many stories of women who were pregnant and locked up and who had to find ways to care for their child, even while locked up. Some women would try to breastfeed their child while in a cell, while others had to pump their milk and hope that the guards kept it. Pregnant women who are behind bars often experience a great deal of stress, as they try to find a way to provide for their child, in an environment that does not provide them with many of the resources they need. The majority of women who are pregnant in prison are also single mothers, and must find a way to support their children once they are released from jail. Health risks for pregnant women in prison. Pregnant women who are locked up in prison face a higher risk of infection, especially if they are in a jail where there is a higher risk of coming into contact with other sick people. If a woman becomes sick while in jail, she may have a harder time fighting off infection, because her diet will likely be less nutritious than it would be if she were free. In general, the standard of living in prisons is less than ideal, and this often carries over into the nutritional quality of the food served in prisons. Pregnant women who are locked up may find themselves lacking in certain nutrients and vitamins that they need to stay healthy, which can cause them to be at a higher risk of complications during and after their pregnancy. Many women who are incarcerated have experienced trauma in their past and may also be experiencing symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, as a result. Having a child while being locked up can be a difficult and overwhelming experience, and can cause a woman to experience more stress, and have a harder time coping with her symptoms. Confining conditions for pregnant women in prison. If a woman is in a jail that is not equipped to care for pregnant women, she may be forced to stay in a small cell that is barely big enough to fit her own body for weeks or even months. Many jails lack space for pregnant women and do not have the resources to transfer them to a different facility. This means that pregnant women may be forced to stay in a small cell that is dirty and full of insects, with no access to prenatal vitamins or other necessary health care items. Many women who are pregnant in prison also find that they are subjected to strip searches and other degrading and unnecessary searches. This can be especially difficult for pregnant women who are forced to undergo these types of searches. While in the early stages of pregnancy, when they are more likely to be sensitive about their changing body. Limited access to prenatal care and childcare services. Many women who are pregnant in prison struggle to find the resources they need to properly care for themselves and their growing fetus. Because many jails are understaffed, pregnant women often do not have access to prenatal vitamins or other necessary items they need to stay healthy while pregnant. Pregnant women who are behind bars often have to find ways to care for their child themselves and may not have the help or support they need to do so. Oftentimes, jails have few resources available for women who are pregnant, meaning that they often have to do things like find someone who can watch their child while they are in the shower, pump their breast milk, or do all of the other things a pregnant or breastfeeding mother might need to do on a regular basis. Pregnancy and the incapacitation exception. Some women in prison choose to keep their child and raise them while serving out their sentences. In these cases, the women are often granted some exceptions in order to make sure that they are able to take care of their child. In many cases, pregnant women who are behind bars are given lighter duties or are allowed to miss work until they give birth. Some women are even granted an extension on their sentence so they have time to care for their child once they are released from jail. In some states, a pregnant woman can be given an exception from being sent to the death penalty. Lack of services and outreach for pregnant women in prison. Many jails and prisons lack resources and programming for pregnant women. This often starts before pregnancy, as many women are not able to access health care services until they are pregnant. Some jails do not have any programs in place to help pregnant women, or provide them with the resources they need to properly care for themselves. Once a woman is pregnant, it can be even more difficult to get the help and support she needs. Many jails have a limited staff and do not have the resources to care for pregnant women. In many cases, the jail might not have a medical facility, and women who are pregnant may be forced to go to a hospital outside of jail to receive the care they need. Her child will likely be born into poverty and will be raised without the care and support that all children need to thrive. The child may also experience trauma from being in a facility where they are exposed to violence and other dangers. Finally, if you've been looking for a way to maximize your income while still working a full-time job or focusing on other ventures, then let me help you set on the right path. What if you could live the life you've always wanted, doing what you love and getting paid for it? What if you could have the financial security to live your life without worry? With the time and resources to do the things you've always wanted? What would that look like for you? Let me show you how to set up your own online business empire to make $100, $200 a day. And how you can get started right now. Click the link below for more info.